Ahoy mates, Julie here, and welcome to Friday's episode of The Boaters TV. First up today, it's nautical news. This week's BoatTest.com e-newsletter reported that on Monday, August 13th, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals heard oral arguments regarding the ballast discharge decision made last September by the U.S. District Court in California. You may remember us talking about this back in episode 22 of the Boaters TV, where this district court decision, which was originally designed to hold the EPA accountable for the regulation of the ballast water discharge from ocean-going commercial ships and freighters, struck down a 34-year-old exemption that applied to recreational boaters. Without a successful legal appeal of this court decision, every recreational boat, even dinghies, in every state will now be required to have a permit, or even multiple permits, that boat owners will have to pay $800 and up to obtain for normal operational discharges such as engine cooling water, bilge water, gray water, and common deck runoff. Not to mention that the EPA will now have to implement an expensive and bureaucratic national permit system for all recreational boats by September 30th, 2008. Yeah, that gives them 1 year. Representatives from the National Marine Manufacturers Association attended the hearing, where it's reported that Department of Justice attorneys actively defended the original 34-year-old EPA permitting exemption on recreational boaters during arguments for the appeal. They told the judges that the nation's estimated 18 million recreational boats would have to be covered under that decision, and argued that the EPA would need more time than the district court allowed to decide how to address recreational vessels. The final outcome of the appeal will not be known for some time. However, the NMMA says the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals clearly recognizes that the case now goes beyond large commercial ship ballast water and impacts recreational boats as well. Our friends at BoatTest.com promise to keep you posted as the judges puzzle their way through this one, and we'll share the news as we get it. Speaking of Boat Test, in Monday's episode we included our very first ever installment of BoatTest Reports, a new segment here on the Boaters TV where we feature portions of a select boat test video. The piece was so well received that we've decided to begin featuring the segments on Fridays so that the content can be seen for an additional day over the weekend. And so, today's featured video in Boat Test Reports is a review of Cruiser Yachts 300 CXI 31-footer. Take it away, guys.
The Cruiser Yachts 300 CXI Express measures 31 feet long, 10 feet of beam, and draws 35 inches with the drives down, 20 inches with them up. She carries 125 gallons of fuel and 25 gallons of water. The 300 CXI weighs 10,000 pounds with gas engines and about 700 pounds for diesels, and offers a bridge clearance height of 9 foot 8 inches. Our test boat was powered by twin Volvo 4.3 GXI 225 horsepower SX stern drives, which is the standard configuration. We were on plane in 8.3 seconds and reached 30 in 15.2 seconds. Acceleration was smooth and steering was responsive and true. We reached a top speed of 39.7 miles an hour at 5,000 RPM, and our optimal cruise speed worked out to 28.4 miles an hour at 4,000 RPM, which will yield a range of 157 miles. Let's take a look down below. The layout is fairly standard up forward. There's a full-size offset berth. Immediately after the galley is the self-contained head compartment. With 6 foot 3 inches of headroom, the mid-cabin area is what makes the 300 CXI different than her competition. The table provides a cozy little seating area. The 300 CXI from Cruiser's Yachts. A whole lot of features and a whole lot of value.
To see this 300 CXI boat test video in full, you'll want to visit BoatTest.com or click on the partner link on our vlog at theboaters.tv. Next up, we head into the Labor Day weekend with some boating tips in our Ship Shape segment. The upcoming Labor Day holiday weekend often marks the last boat outing of the year for many boaters in northern and midwestern states. But I found a great press release put out by the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, or ODNR, reminding boaters that excellent boating weather often continues through September and October in Ohio, and of course the same holds true in many areas of the U.S. So don't pull your boat from the water just yet. The fall season often offers prime fishing opportunities, less crowded waterways, and great fall color viewing opportunities that you'll want to be sure to experience. Michael Quinn, acting chief of the ODNR Division of Watercraft, reminds those of us boating in the fall months to take extra caution since the water is colder, setting the stage for hypothermia should an accident occur. The ODNR offers the following tips for boating in the fall season. Be alert to all existing and forecasted weather conditions. Address hypothermia, dress in layers, and consider wetsuits or dry suits if engaging in water sports. And they remind fall hunters and anglers who are using boats to pay particular attention to not overload their boats with people and gear. Stability in small watercraft is especially important to avoid capsizing a boat. One final reminder, Labor Day weekend is one of the top 3 boating weekends of the year, so be cautious, courteous, and patient out there this weekend, especially where it's congested. And most importantly, have fun. Now, boat on, my friends. Finally today, let's take a look at some nautical nomenclature in our Did You Know segment. Did you know that the expression son of a gun has its roots in the nautical tradition? Well, let me preface this by saying that there is some debate among etymologists as to the true origin, but we do know that as early as 1823, the term was used in A Dictionary of the Turf by John B. So we're going to run with this son of a gun explanation as this. Apparently, although the British Royal Navy had rules against it, they used to turn a blind eye to women, and that's either wives or ladies of easy virtue, joining sailors on voyages and actually living aboard as crew. Infrequently, but not uncommonly, children were born on the naval ships, and a convenient place for this was between guns on the gun deck. Any child born on board who had uncertain paternity would be listed in the ship's log as son of a gun. And if it was a girl, daughter on the water? I don't know. That's a wrap on today's episode of The Boaters TV. We'll see you back here on Monday, and until then, a safe and happy Labor Day boating weekend to you all. Take care. This episode of The Boaters TV has been brought to you by the word fathom, meaning a unit of measurement relating to the depth of water or to the length of line or cable. 1 fathom is 6 feet or 1.83 meters.